Hi everyone, my name is Haze. I'm an artisan speed painter from Malaysia, and today is episode 7 of the Procreate Basics series. So today is actually all about actions, and it's the first part of the actions tutorial in Procreate. In today's tutorial, you'll be learning all about how to add photos and text, and also how to copy, paste, and copy canvas. We'll be also learning how to crop, resize, and flip the canvas. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get started. So today we're going to learn all about actions, and to do that I'm going to launch Procreate, and this is the action tab where it's an icon of a wrench. So here you can see that there's a couple of tabs here: add, canvas, share, video, preferences, and help. So we're going to go through them one by one. So if you tap on add, you can see insert a file, a photo, take a photo, add text. So if I insert a file, you can actually insert from your iCloud, even though the file is not residing in your iPad. So something that you saved here, you can just import it in, or you can just pick your Dropbox on my iPad as well. There's a couple of options here. So I'm just gonna go with importing this skin palette. So there you go, the file is already imported. So same goes for the insert a photo. If you tap it, it will actually import from your photo album within your iPad itself. And if you take a photo, you can use your iPad as a camera and take a photo of something to draw. So now I'm going to show you how to add text in Procreate. So first we will go to actions, and then under add, we're going to tap on add text. So once the text is created, you can see that there's a blue outline around the text, but this doesn't mean that the text actually has a blue outline. If you just deselect the text, you can see that the text doesn't have any blue outline anymore. So just know that the blue outline just means that the text is selected. So in order to change the style, you can just double tap, and then a pop-up of a style editor here will be shown. Or if you want a bigger screen size of that style editor, you can tap on this button here, this double A icon. So once you tap on that, you can have your full screen editor for the text itself. So now let's look at the attributes here. We can set the paragraph to be left, middle, or to the right, or we can justify it as well. There's also this underline icon here, but when it underlines, it's kind of weird. It does not really underline it properly, so it seems like it's only underlining the space between the text. But if you increase your baseline enough, you actually get the full line. So I'm not sure why it's this way, but we work with what we have. So if you tap this button here, this will actually turn your text into an outline like this. And if you tap on this, this actually becomes a vertical text, and if you tap it again, it becomes horizontal again. Then there is a handy button here. This actually turns your text to capital letters. And if your font have any additional style, you can see it right here. That's regular, italic, bold, or bold italic. So this depends on the font that you're using at the moment. So of course here you can adjust the size of the text. And there's something called kerning and tracking. And if you adjust them, you will see that the space between the characters is increasing or decreasing. So what is the difference between kerning and tracking? So the kerning actually adjusts the space between the characters in a proportional way, whereas the tracking actually adjusts the space between the characters in a uniform way. So you can see it's a little bit different. So usually I would just adjust the kerning first without touching the tracking, because kerning gives a more proportional adjustment when it comes to adding space in between your characters. For baseline, the text is actually sitting on a line like this. So if you increase the baseline, you're actually moving the line of the baseline here, and the text will move up accordingly. And same as you go down, your baseline will go down and your text will move down. So this would be more apparent if there's multiple lines of text. So now I have two lines here. If I increase the baseline, both of them would go up and down. But I can also selectively just move one of it like this. Then there is this thing called leading. Leading basically just means the space between the lines. So if I decrease the leading, I would actually bring the lines closer together. And if I increase the leading, it will actually increase the space between all the lines. And opacity is pretty straightforward. If you put it at maximum, it would just be very opaque. And if you put it down here, it will be less opaque. Then if we see here, there are three icons here. This is actually cut, copy, and paste. So if I copy this, I can actually tap here and then use this to tap, and then it will keep pasting the words. Alternatively, I can just cut it, and then after that I can just paste it down again. So cut basically means you copied it and then you delete the original instance. And if you tap on this icon, your keyboard will come right back up. So if you see here, the text is bound within this bounding box, this blue bounding box here. So if this bounding box is selected, it means that you can still change the color of the text. But if you're just selecting the layer and the bounding box doesn't show up, when you change colors, it doesn't actually change anything. So make sure that when you tap on your layer, and then when you tap wherever, if you see a bounding box, you know that you can still adjust the color this way. And if you want to delete this, you can just go into layers and delete the layer itself. Now I'm going to show you how I import a font in. So if I select the text and go back into the style editor here, you can see here I have a couple of fonts here, but there are some that I actually imported it in. So to import a font, you just have to go to import font, and then right here I have a font where I can just import it in. So let's select this font and have it imported in. The font is called Bromelo. So let's look for the font and select it. There it is. So now I have a new font here that I can use. So this is how you add and edit text. And here we have some very handy shortcuts here: cut, copy, copy canvas, and paste, which is exactly the same as what you get if you drag your 3 fingers down the screen and you have cut and paste. But if you tap on copy canvas instead, it will actually take like a screenshot of your artwork, and when you paste it, it will actually paste that complete image itself. Next tab, we have the canvas tab, and then here we can crop and resize. So when you tap on crop and resize, you can see there's a couple of settings here. We have settings here, and this shows the size of the canvas. I typically use an A4 size canvas, and this shows in mm instead of pixels. And then we also have DPI, which is the dot per inches measurement for our canvas. So let's say I want to resize the canvas, I can just crop it. And if I tap on done, it will actually crop the canvas for you. And if you're here and you have done something wrong, you can just tap on reset. You can also rotate the canvas if you want, but it will crop away the edges once you do that. But let's say you want to resize the whole thing smaller. That's actually a trick for that. You have to tap on resample canvas, and you can see that this blue chain here is in blue color. If it's not in blue, you have to tap it to make sure it's blue. And now I can change the size, and you can see that this changed accordingly. Now if I press done, it will actually resize the entire canvas to be smaller or bigger depending on what your values are. And here we also have flip. So flip would just flip this horizontally and vertically. So typically you use this when you want to check your proportions when you're sketching a portrait. So you can flip it and then continue working, and then flip it again and continue working as well. So once you flip it, you will notice a couple of mistakes in your proportions, that something looks a bit off. Like if I turn it here, suddenly she don't look quite pretty anymore, and I might want to fix this so that she looks pretty from all angles that you are working with.
Okay guys, I hope you have learned a lot in today's tutorial. Tomorrow we will be continuing in our exploration of the Actions tab in Procreate. So it will be a part 2 for the Actions Procreate Basics series. So make sure you catch tomorrow's tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. See you tomorrow. Bye!